You've done $7 billion in transactions. Most of that was a collection of office, industrial, hospitality.
Mainly industrial and office properties. We have a focus on the state of Florida. We also go into the Southeast as well as it relates to industrial, but office we do just in the state of Florida. Historically, we did it because we did office just in Florida because it's an asset class that is very difficult to run. Small mistakes can create large dollar problems. So being close to it and being in and out of it every day is more important. It's important in every asset class, but more so in office. So we did it that we focused on office just in Florida for that reason. But then once the pandemic came, if you study the facts and data, the Florida office market also has performed dramatically differently than anywhere else in the country. We're actually leasing more office space today than we were leasing in 2017, 2018, and 2019. So now we do office in Florida for two reasons. One, because you have to be close to it, and two, because it's probably the only office market in the country where you're actually leasing space today.
Yep. I heard about a story in California. It was on California Street in San Francisco. Probably heard of it, $300 million deal that traded in 2019 and then is now on a contract for $60 million because it's 75% vacant. People are they don't want to sign leases there.
Yeah, they're having problems. I think the interesting thing about Florida office is from a capital markets perspective, it's experiencing the same issues that offices in San Francisco or New York City or Chicago are experiencing. One, from rising interest rates, and two, from just a severe lack of liquidity in the product type right now. But the differentiating factors in those markets, even when you own the property, what are you going to do with it? Versus Florida, at least you can lease space. So we think Florida actually is Florida office is one of the more interesting and compelling investment opportunities out there right now because of this disconnect between the operating performance of the asset class and the way the capital markets are treating it.
Got it. Do you think that we're going to likely see continued rent growth at the same velocity we've seen in Florida for office?
I think we'll see it in pockets, right? And we're talking conceptually about Florida. Certainly there's great places in Florida like Brickell Avenue, and there's places that aren't so great, like the I-75 corridor in Tampa. So, our Brickell Avenue, are we going to continue to see rent growth? Yeah. Probably. It's supply and demand. There's a lot of demand for office space on Brickell Avenue right now. There's very limited new supply of it. In fact, I was talking with one of the folks that leased space for us down in Miami, and that this leasing agent's very active on Brickell Avenue. There's not one full floor of office vacancy on Brickell right now.
Unbelievable. I was in Los Angeles when everything kind of got a little crazy, and everything was basically vacant. All ground level in downtown LA off 5th and 6th Street, a lot of the prime streets, restaurants. There was just so much active.
Yeah, but you can study the statistics like we do, but also a big part of real estate is seeing it and touching it and feeling it. Yeah, you can go walk on Las Olas Boulevard. You could go walk on Rosemary Square in West Palm Beach. You can go to West Shore in Tampa, and it's vibrant. Yep, there's people out. They're going to lunch. They're going to work. They're doing all those things, and that's what's propelling the Florida office market.
Yeah, my wife's family came. They stayed in West Palm Beach about 2 weeks ago, and we went out to grab some food, and it was just very lively. It was beautiful. It was an incredible experience, and it just felt like the right place to be. Do you think that we're going to see any type of disruption in office, or do you think, looking back at what's happened the last few years with people's kind of their spending habits and this work from home situation, do you think we're going to see more people look to kind of expand or maybe restructure current operations, or how do you see office changing?
We definitely do. There's a change that came about from the pandemic in the way we think about office use, right? The difference in Florida is we had more good that came mainly from population and wealth growth.
Definitely.
Which, if you think about the combination of those two things, we believe it's the most powerful economic force out there. Mm-hmm. You think when people, and especially when capital flows into a geography, it creates demand for goods and services. It supplies labor, right, to support that need. And for those goods and services, for that labor, what do you need? We need space.
Mm-hmm.
We call it the people to space ratio, which is just a silly way of saying the more people, the more space they need, right?
Right.
So everyone that moved to Florida, they needed a home, right? So you saw the housing market go up. They also needed a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a wealth manager, et cetera, et cetera. And all those people use office space. They also brought their businesses down here.
Yep.
We had, in about a 2-year period, we had almost 200 new to Florida businesses lease over 5 million square feet in the state.
If you've enjoyed this clip and you'd like to watch the full episode, you can do so on my main YouTube channel by clicking the video here.